Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you, Steve?
Okay. Good evening, all. Good evening. This is not my show, so I just, these. Well, I was going to say these women, but I better be careful what I say because I've got Angela next door to me, and then I've got Michelle on the other side. So good evening, and yes, she's back. Yes, Angela's back. How have you been? You haven't been feeling well, have you?
The thing is, I wasn't ill as such. It's just the throat. I sounded like I've had like a really bad flu. And even today, I mean, you can still kind of hear the nasally sort of, voice. And what tends to happen, I try not to use the antihistamines because all antihistamines have sedatory effect. So I'm trying to stay away from antihistamine tablets, and it really just this bit just
Yeah.
really gets it. I don't have to be sneezing or coughing or anything. It's just I have this really horsey voice, and I just can't do any recordings even.
So
So
what have you got to drink tonight then?
I, I was meant to. I've run out of tonic, and there's only there's only orange in the fridge, and I don't like orange drink because it's a bit acidic for me. I haven't got anything to go with tonic, so I was thinking wine today, but it's been put in the fridge, so it's not quite ready. But
Anyway,
in few weeks' time, Steve, I have a guest who talks about wine. They called their show is called Mr. Wines. So there's two of them. They review lots of wines, and I have invited him to Talking Live. So I will get to drink one of the wines.
that'll
Well,
be interesting.
that'd be really good. So that'd be really good.
That'd be really good.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are you talking about tonight then?
Today, the lost art of communication. I'm doing an article on it on one of the I've forgotten which platform I haven't contributed to, but I tend to write about digital communication,
Mm.
and it's a very sad affair of today, the way we communicate. The lost art of communication is the topic for today. And the reason why I'm talking about it, because talking is very important. Talking is therapeutic. A lot of people are lonely because they have nobody to talk to. And when, families visit, adults and children alike, when they're visiting their sick grandparents, I have noticed that they just sit and stay on the phone. And that really cuts me, you
Mm.
know? And I have lost two relationships because of communication. So to me, communication is extremely important. It's more important than making love. Would you believe I've put something else before making love?
Yes, I've just actually, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, we found her in a loony bin and we felt sorry for it. It was like a lost puppy. It's
To
only
me,
you got to bring it up, isn't it? It's only you.
no, I just thought you might be surprised. I am putting something else, above making love. But then
All I
you
get now, from my wife is, "Oh, I've got an headache." You know, or I can't find it. Where is it, or whatever.
should you have shared that live, Steve?
Oh, oh, bugger.
Just to remind Steve, we are live and have been live
Oh,
for 5 minutes almost. And those viewers or listeners who are very sensitive to such talk, I can only apologize. I can only apologize on behalf of Crossroads Podcast UK. Please ignore Steve's comment just
yeah,
now.
yeah. Just ignore my comment. Sorry about that. Anyway, I'm gonna let you go, and I'll be here on the wind. You know what I mean. And I'm gonna watch Corey or whatever.
Oh dear, really?
Yeah, be back shortly. Yeah. Oh my
Okay, all
god.
right.
Yeah.
I have a view about that, but never mind. I'll share it later.
Okay, I'll be back later. Bye.
Okay, thank you. Have you been? Let me just put my screen here. Has anybody seen The Crown? I know it's like it's been shown for some time now, The Crown, but I really love, you know, listening to the journey of the Queen as much as they're allowed to share it. The journey of the Queen from being a young girl to a grown woman, adult, a young mother to great grandmother, I believe, and also now a senior person. And what I've actually noticed, when the Queen was a very young girl herself, communication was one of the things she struggled with. And there is one episode. Let me see if I can pull up on it. There was one episode. Uh, I think it's episode 4 or 5, where a young reporter highlights this about the Queen, and he said, if she doesn't improve her communication in roundabout way, he was saying, we're going to lose the monarchy. And a lot of people thought, he is anti-disestablishmentarianism or whatever. I thought I'll say it, but I can't. Some people thought he was anti-monarchy or anti the establishment, but really, he was not anti-monarch or the royals or anything like that. He was supporting the royals, and he wanted make sure the Queen stood a great chance, because in that position, in any leadership position, and I haven't even started drinking yet, um, she used a bow and arrow for communication. Oh, Steve, you never let us down. It was now he's throwing me off my trail here. It's very important, the communication, and this, I'm trying to remember his name. This he was a writer, published writer. I think he wrote for one of the newspapers anyway, and he really wanted to uh, to help the Queen do better in connecting. So today's live show is Talking Life. Everything is about talking about life. Anything and everything. We are not embarrassed about anything. So I have missed you all today. Well, last week. I thought I'll express that today, and I was running quite late from my work. So I am an hour late again. So I will improve my times, but my life situation is very challenging because my car got stolen in January. Some people know that. I still don't have access to the car. So I'm using a lot of cabs or walking or borrowing the car. And it has been quite horrendous for me. And one of the things that have helped me a lot is the way I communicate with the people I work for, or the affiliations that I have in care work, in transport, in coaching. So I have my fingers in number of pies. So communication is extremely important. And although I say that, even if you are running late, you know, it would just help the other person if you just tell them that you're running late, for example. And this is such a simple thing to do. But um, we try to be clever about things, and the damage that it leaves on, or the impression it leaves on the recipient, they you will be surprised the impact it will have on your life, because you could miss out on great opportunities if you weren't communicating correctly. And a lot of people don't really care who you are, what you do. But if you distort your communication with people, and I'm not saying, be 100% truthful all the time. This is how I live. Not everybody is able to live that way. But if we don't communicate our feelings, our situation, our emotions, things can get very, very challenging for us. And the damage, we may not see it right there and then, but the damage you will understand or appreciate the damage it has done on your personal life, on your progression, because later on you will be thinking about that scenario. Anyway, so why have I chosen that topic? For a number of reasons. I do actually like writing about um, digital communication, and I write things like how we can improve, how we can save time, how we can, engage with people better. Um, Unfortunately, I am quite sad to see or witness how bad we are getting in communicating with one another. I the few hours that I contribute towards care allows me to see how people behave with their close family members, especially if the family member is poorly and the able family members are visiting them and they are basically on their phones. So if you were in a hospital or you're in a care home or you are, somebody who's just come back from hospital, whatever, and you are visiting that person and you sit front of them, they may not have full capacity, but they still are able to engage and appreciate the conversation that you may want to have. But what good is it if you just sit opposite them and you open up your phone and for 1 hour, all you are doing is fixed on that screen, what we call smartphones. And that is basically what your visit entailed. How would you feel if you were ill and somebody's visiting you and you haven't seen anybody all day and you're feeling a little homesick, or you're remembering your younger days? Life was full of excitement, and you were able to do everything. You were superhuman, because that's what we are. We're superhuman beings when we are fully able, emotionally, physically, and what other entities there are. How would you feel when you weren't able to think for yourself, or go to the toilet yourself, or eat on your own, but yet you have a little mental capacity to understand what's around you for that short period? Your grandchildren are visiting you, or your daughter and son is visiting you, but they're just sitting in front of you. And they're on their mobile phone and you are just sitting there, nobody to talk to, nobody's talking to you. And even with the little capacity you have, don't you think you will think, is that what my life was about? What would go through your life if you were, slightly able to understand? Your mental capacity has changed, but you still can understand and hold a conversation. What would be going through your mind? Your family is sitting right there, not talking to you. Let's share another scenario. Mum and dad work very, very hard, and, especially the dad, he is longing to have a family time, and everybody's excited about watching a film together or a family activity, and everybody is on the smartphone. I don't know why it's called smartphone, because to me, it's actually declining your IQ or your art for communication. You're losing the art to communicate, because I was thinking, you know, what is, some people say, you're a very good listener. That's exactly the part of, you know, communication art. When somebody's talking to you, in order to say, or to say, he or she is very, very good to talk to. That means you've listened well, you spoke at the right time, you used the right tone of your voice, you have made eye contact, you have used hand gestures to fully engage in the depth of conversation. Your body posture is also telling the person you're talking to that you are fully engaged in this topic and you are 100% committed to this conversation. This is the art. How many people you see with their phone attached to their hand, talking live on their smartphone? Thank you, Steve. So, if you were watching Talking Live, why not put Talking Live on your TV screen and let's all as a family watch it together? Or watch it in your private time, but don't sacrifice family time. Why is this important to me? I see this so often. The root cause of depression, and before I was unwell, I talked about depression and addiction and connections. How can we fully connect if we don't talk? I was looking at the, what are the best way to communicate? I think it was 38% of the communication happens through your body language, because it isn't just speaking. Words only make, let me check if I've still got the paragraph. Yeah. The words. Is it writing? It's only very, very small percent. Words, 7% is non-verbal communication. If you type in art of communication, it shows you the chart. Like 70%. No, no, that's not the one. 38% is the tone, the voice, how you use your tone. That is very, very high. So 38, that's almost 40%. 40% of the communication happens just the way you speak, like the tone of it. Some people have monotone, and it's almost like you are falling asleep because the voice is so like boring. It's just one tone. So if we vary the voice, I mean that's an art. That is natural thing we do. But some people literally speak with one tone, and it's extremely boring, and it puts people to sleep. 55% body, movement, face, arms. That's 55%, you know? So if you are sitting there with your smartphone and you're just looking at the smartphone, and the person you're visiting, you might as well not be there. There is no point you being there because look, 55% of the communication is through the body language. And you've got nearly 40% is the tone of your voice. So what's left? You do the maths because I'm not good at it. 40% and 55%. You're stopping basically all communication by just staring at your phone. I was, I am very, very hurt when people treat other people this way. I get very sort of. It's almost like, why? What do we do before phones? And don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-technology. I have 2 iPads, 2 or 3 phones. I can't remember how many. I have a laptop, a desktop, a laptop and a desktop, and God knows what else. I am not anti-technology. I use these tools to work efficiently, to save time and do more. And people usually make this excuse with me. I didn't want to disturb you because you're always so busy. When people say that to me, I accept that actually they have no value in this friendship, and they are basically telling you, you're not worthy of my time. Do you remember, if you are similar to my age, and I'm only mid-40s, Steve will have a comment or two about that. But when guests, arrived at your home, the TV used to go off. If you're a little bit older than I, you would agree with me. When I was a little girl, I only spoke to the guests if I was spoken to. I would greet because that was a thing that was a thing to do. I didn't have to be told to say hello to so and so. This is something that you did. But you sat quietly and spoke when you were spoken to, which was fine. And one of the things that my dad always used to ask me to do was to make tea for the guests. And I was only, in my very early teens. And I used to do that so, excitedly. I used to love making tea for the guests because my dad used to praise what a lovely tea I make. And so I would make such an effort because I didn't want to let my dad down, because he's told his workplace, my daughter makes. I don't even know why he did that. My daughter makes the best tea. I mean, what is that? And although I had a terrible relationship as a young adult with my dad, but I value his and my time with him now. I'm sure this is normal, but I think we forget when we are lost in our own world and in our own pity. And that's what I was. I was so, you know, I am so hard done by kind of thing. Although I wasn't, I sort of got on with my life, but because it was like loads of things happened, and my personality clashed with my dad, and it just went terribly wrong. But I think about the love my dad shared, and I remember those moments. I mean, I can so remember it so vividly, how my dad used to really love the idea of when people came, Angela is going to make tea because she makes the best tea. I was known for that, and I loved that title. And you see how impactful that is. This life is about making memories. This life is about experience, experiencing different things. If you are not communicating, how will you experience? I mean, do you make love and not say anything? I mean, when you're making love, do you like send a text? Or when you're making love, is your eyes fixed on the smartphone? Because I tell you what, I tell you what, if you were staring at the smartphone while you were making love, you will no longer, or very soon, will not be smart, and you'll be very, very alone, I'm sure. So, the art of communication. I I'm very disciplined. My wife says, "Have you finished yet?" I tell you what, Steve, you have so many problems. Come on, why are you not communicating with your wife well? I am awfully disappointed. Because how can you not be communicating? Your channel, your life, Crossroads Podcast UK is about communication. So that means that personal communication must improve, Steve. Come and tell me about it. That's terrible. That's terrible. Have you finished yet? I am married. I know you're married. I said, come on the show and tell me about it. Oh, God. I am married. Well, I am so glad you're married, and I hope your marriage continues forever. And I can't believe this is being put on the banner. My wife says, "Have you finished?" You see, in everything we do is requires communication. If we are, you know, setting a new affiliation, work, contract, customers, I don't know, business partners. Everything is about communication. Why are we using smartphones and getting thicker every day? Why is a smartphone not making us smart? It's a tool to improve your life. So why is it not improving your life? Why are you giving time to people who prioritize the phone over you? Yeah, something to think about. There are billions of people using smartphones. Is your phone or the technology overtaking your mind? and putting you in a very unbalanced way. Are you happy to be disrupted by technology? As soon as I finish, what happens? My phones, especially if it's my day off, I don't want to know where my phone is because if somebody is very important in my life, they'll be with me. And when I'm with somebody who's very important in my life, why would I be needing a phone? If I'm having me time, why would I be needing a phone? You know? So one begs the question, are you having a relationship with your phone or a human being? You are mute.
I said I hope not. I hope I'm not having a relationship with my phone.
Well, I have ended my relationship over communication.
Have you? Wow.
If
You
a
know, it's
person,
talking life. It's talking life. Talk to us about it.
well, it's a to me, I will not, I am not glued to technology, and I've got loads of technology at home. I am not gonna be, if I give my time, first is a schedule. Like if my boyfriend wants sex, it has to be like fit in the schedule because I can take my time very seriously.
Yeah, but the trouble is, can you imagine it? He's probably got his phone while he's having sex or something. He's probably like watching the phone, thinking, "Oh, hang on for a second. Oh, it's 13 minutes. I better push it quick." You know, before 15 minutes turn up. You know, it's a countdown, isn't it? You know, in my case, my wife says to me, "Have you finished yet?" Or, "Not tonight. I've got an headache."
So why do you think she says that?
Why did she say that?
Why?
Well, why? Well, she wants to get sleep, doesn't she? She wants to get sleep. I said to her the other day, I said, "We've got a chandelier." She said, "No, they're not chandelier. It's a light stick with a fan on the thing." I said, "Yeah, so it's but the trouble is, so you know, we used to, but communication. You said about communication, right? I used to write love letters to my wife when I first met her.
Yeah.
Darling, why did you do this? Why did you do that? Things like that. And all of a sudden, she said to me, my oldest daughter's just read all your letters. I said, what? She said, yeah. She said, and things like that. And the trouble is, see, what you got to realize with communication is this: that if it goes into the wrong hands, we're in trouble.
Why? I've got nothing to hide. Oh,
Well, you
in
have,
fact,
you have. You're the person who was communicating with and just finished with. I bet he was like looking at his phone in a pub or a restaurant or something, and he was going, "Oh, hello, yeah. Oh, God, that Angela's a bit boring again. All right, darling, how are you? What do you want for dinner?" And you go, "Oh, fish and chips, please." All right then, fine. Waiter, get a fish and chips. And he goes back on his phone and he's swiping. Oh, she's lovely. Oh, she's nice, isn't it?
yep. the I to me, if you're gonna, I mean, my family would be, a person that I'm just living with or the person I'm having a relationship, right? If
Yeah.
that person cannot give you 100% of your time, I'd rather be single.
Well,
And I'm not saying sit with me forever because I am out of the house most of the time, and then I have a lot of my own commitments. As you know, I do
yeah,
lots
yeah,
of
yeah, 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 yeah.
so it's
But
not like I'm a clingy person, or I'm barely at home. So to me,
can you imagine it? Can you imagine it? Sitting on the sofa with you and just kind of like sitting there talking, and you're not moving from there for about a few years. Hello, how are you? Oh, you only said that about an hour ago. Yeah, but We've been here now for 2 years, and I'm going for the toilet. You know,
I'm not that bad. I'm not
no,
that
I'm
bad.
not. No,
I
I'm only
I just
joking. I'm only joking.
I just, to me, people are like, this is how it is. Phone all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm like, detach this device from you. Goodness
yeah.
sake.
I know, I know. But
Y-
it happens. It happens. My phone goes off every whatever. It goes off every
Yeah,
10, 15 minutes. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's just kind of like, and the trouble is, you need some time. You know, you know those things. I remember someone phoning me up once, and I went, it went like this. It went, beep, 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 beep. Hello, this is me. This is me. Hello, hello. Sorry, I can't take a call at the moment. But if you'd like to leave your name, telephone number, and any information you want to tell me about, please do it after the tone. So I went, "Ding. Hello, Steve. I am from Scotland. You know, they used to leave me messages and that. But, and you get these foreigners, think you, ringing them up and going, hello, hello, is this Mr. Steve? Is this Mr. Steve? I said, yeah, yeah. Um, I wanted to ask you something. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Have you got insurance out? Of course, I've
Oh,
got insurance.
God.
You get, and it's part of communication, see,
Yeah, yeah,
and that's what you're talking about tonight. It's about
yeah.
and the language as well, isn't it? Through communication with people, isn't it?
That's very, very true. And even the accents, some accents are so alluring. There's I don't know what channel she's on. I don't know if it's BBC 4 or no, it's on Smooth Channel, and they do a morning show with one of the singers, and she's got the most beautiful like Midland type of voice, and you will just listen to her because she just sounds so lovely.
Mm.
You don't actually have to listen to what she's saying, but she sounds absolutely beautiful. So some people. It's easy to communicate. Others, oh my God, it's
I
better to
know,
be
I know.
just. And but aren't we? Do you not think? I just think we are getting so super crazy with this technology. We can't part. We can't part from it. And I try to give myself, not try to. I do. I don't do late calls. I don't do late texts unless he's a hottie,
Don't you do
obviously.
like don't you do late calls?
No, only to a person of interest.
Ah, right. So I do late calls. Hello. Yes. Um. Are you? Well, my name is Steve, and I am middle, and I've got big, sexy legs, baby. You pay me £50 to see more. Give me your credit card details. But yeah, you're right. About communication and everything. You're totally right. I think the trouble is we're not communicating enough. All what we do keep on doing is kind of like on our laptops, phones, everything else, and not
It's
on.
spamming. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
spamming. It's
yeah.
like I have, for convenience, people join on Facebook, and these are like especially like terrible distant family members. They're on WhatsApp, Messenger, blah blah blah. So if you don't get back to them, people know. If you multiple, text me, I can guarantee I will not get back to you because
Mm,
you are now spamming. You
yeah,
know, it's like,
yeah.
how dare you? You're going to take that much longer time to read this text and the other text and the other. It's like, no, no, that's not going to happen.
Mm,
Find one channel that you communicate and stick to that, lovey. I am so like super strict. To me, don't mess around with how people communicate with me. I am. If people want to call me, you're a bit touchy. Damn right I am. Because I am not wasting my time with any Tom, Dick, and Harry. How dare you waste my time? I get very, very annoyed when people spam. It
mm,
infuriates me.
mm.
I'm okay now.
Right, okay. Calm down now. Calm down now. Well, I'll tell you what I've been doing since while you've been kind of like talking to everybody else. I've been trying to learn some sign language.
Good.
Because that's part of communication, isn't it?
It is sign language. I mean, I think it should be mandatory, really, for people, so that we all can communicate with people who are unable. Who are mute, who have speech issues. Yeah,
Mhm.
I would love to. I just have so much going on, but it's a good idea. So, how far have you got?
Well, I'll tell you what I've forgot. I've learnt this.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Yeah,
I
I.
and that's love you.
Oh, thank you, Steve.
Well, not you. I don't love you. I love every. I love everybody, but
I
I. Yeah.
love you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I've forgotten to tell you.
This is um this is saying thank you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is thank you.
Yeah, and this is telling you to. Oh no, I won't do that. I won't do that. I'll get banned. I'll get sacked.
I
Yeah.
thought you were being serious there, Steve. I really took you seriously. You're fibbing.
No, no, it's true. That is I. Love, yeah, yeah. Honestly,
Yes,
check
but are
it.
you doing the course? Are you doing the
No,
learning?
no, no, no. Well, I'm supposed to be doing. I belong to. I actually know. I run a stroke club. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
yeah, and so we a part of it now. They want me to do a sign language course now, just in case if people come in.
yeah,
And I supposed to started it about 3 weeks ago, but I haven't. So I went on there just now while you were kind of like talking, and I started it. So I've done about two sentences of it. So
yeah,
I've got
yeah,
another like 95 to go or whatever.
yeah,
So, but yeah, yeah. So it's like a course, and I need to get it. It's
yeah.
part of my training, but there you go. But yeah, but communication is a good thing. But the trouble is, though, do you think we communicate a lot when we're in relationships?
I if my relationship isn't actively in communication, and I'm talking about everything,
Mm,
like
mm.
I love with communication, etiquette is also important because all of it comes together, and there is just not much etiquette.
Mm.
Like this, the older generation has much more in where manners are concerned, how they show courtesy, and it's like I'm a little bit traditional on that. I love how a gentleman behaves with
Yeah.
ladies and all of that. I love all that, but it's
See, I
to
used to
me
be like that. I used to be like that, but I'm not now.
what
You know,
what
I remember before I met my wife, right? I remember going on a date, and someone said to me, "Aren't you going to?" She said, "Are you going to open the door to me to be a gentleman?" And I said, "Well, not really." I says, "If you want to open the door, you can, but I'm going out this way." So but no, well, because all that's gone in it. All that's so fashion now, isn't it? About
I
kind of
don't
like
know. No,
open the door.
no.
I remember when you used to kind of like take somebody out for dinner and you gotta pull the chair out and say, "Oh, sit down on that seat," and things like
Oh
that.
no, those men haven't died out yet because I have loads of friends who do that, and I'm talking
Well,
about friends, not just like sex and stuff.
no,
I
no,
have,
no, 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 no. But
yeah,
if it was me, I'd go, yeah, take a seat, take a bloody seat, and sit there. Order
yeah,
something cheap on the menu. You know,
yeah.
25p bag of chips that'd do me.
I
Then, you know, then when she comes back from the toilet after when she's been on the phone, hello. Oh well, he sounds like a right dickhead. You know what I mean? Oh, I'll get my I know what goes on. Then you come back and they said, I want to sit down again. So you pull the chair out, let her sit down, but this time tip it so she falls on her ass.
Really, Steve? You're not like that at all. I don't
No,
believe that for a minute.
no, no, no. No, I'm a gentleman. I'm a gentleman.
Well,
But no, but
even like uh, mid-age people, like my close friends, they will do that for me. They'll open the door, they'll open the car doors, and I'm just talking about that's just silly things.
car doors. No, no, I don't do
Yeah.
car doors. I just go. I guess I go right. Hang on for a second. I just got to open the boot. Get in, woman. Get in. That's where you belong. In the boot.
You're so cruel.
I wasn't joking. But but the trouble is, though, the trouble is, I don't think in relationships. I was listening to somebody the other day, and they were saying about relationships. If you've been with somebody for 20 odd years, just say, right, and you're there trying to work out, you're thinking, right, what am I going to say to her now? What am I going to say to her? Oh, it's
No, that's no, Steve, because a lot of one of my very close friends, he loves the chase, right? I'm not talking about the program. I mean, talking about the chase of
all right. I thought you
getting a
loved
partner.
Bradley Walsh.
No, 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 no. It's
Taking
he,
pride.
no, he loves the chase of
Yeah, yeah,
getting the partner. And I told him one time, I said, "You take so long with this chase, but your real chase starts actually when a partner says yes to you. Yes, I like to, pursue this
yeah.
relationship further. That's when your chase starts. If you are getting too complacent in your home, that's how the marriages or partnerships deteriorate, because you're getting too complacent in relationship. You should always be keeping each other on your toes. You shouldn't
Oh,
get
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah, we're,
you should always be you know treating the person as if this is your first week, or this is your first day. Be excited about when your partner comes in. Greet them like when the first few days, in order to keep that relationship that alive. That is where the real chase is.
right.
So
Okay,
many
look,
people get this wrong.
right. Okay, I'll tell you something. What happened to me? My wife went into hospital around about a couple of months ago, and she said to me she had to go in about her leg, and poor Stephen was on his own, right? Yeah, my dad stayed here, right? And anyway, me and Stephen don't have communicate. Me and Stephen, me and the washing machine don't have any communications at all, right? We don't get on. I won't touch it. The last time I took a washing machine, I flooded the kitchen out. So anyway, I said to my dad, "You put the washing in, and when my carer comes in, I'll get her to do put the washing on." Right now, the clothes, right? It was like see that phone? Well, the clothes were like right up. It was like a big lump, right?
Yeah.
And but carers were coming in and said, "Oh, you miss your wife then because she's not doing your washing." I said, "Not really." I says, "Not really." I says, "I'm quite enjoying the peace and quiet." But inside, I was missing her because I was phoning her up every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. And she said,
Yeah.
"Oh, I was right." But
Yeah.
but when she came home, the truth came out, and it was like she came through the door, and I thought, oh, and I was like tears coming down my eyes
Oh,
because I missed her, and
oh,
and she said to me, "Oh, you have you missed me, Dale?" I said, "Well,
oh.
yeah, I have missed you in some way, but the trouble is, so I'll just coming on to do my washing." And she'll tell you, and it was in the right mess. But the trouble is, communication. It's all come down to communication.
It
Sometimes
does.
we wait for other people to make the
Yeah.
move or
Yeah.
communicate first, but we need to keep the communication going.
Yes. And it's and when you are communicating quite rightly with people, the like the excitement that you get from your relationships, from your friendship, that is like endomorphin itself. We are so excited when we like somebody and they're talking to us, whether it's a friend or a lover or somebody who had a crush on you. Talking ignites our passion, it ignites our creativity, it touches us in the core.
Mm. Yeah.
And if you think that the smartphone is going to replace that, then I truly believe humans are getting so thick that it's unreal.
Oh yeah, yeah. We I was talking. I I know somebody on who I speak to on my podcast. I do interviews with her. I've done about 3 interviews with her, and she said we've got to meet sometime. We've got to meet this,
Yeah,
and I said to her, I tell you what I can do. You come down and speak in front of my stroke club,
yeah,
right? Do a
yeah,
talk and she said, would you mind? I said no. So anyway, I met her on Wednesday.
yeah,
And when she came in, she said, "Oh, Steve, like to talk to you. You know, I don't like it when it's over the when we're kind of like talking over on the channel or things like that.
yeah,
When it's in person." And she said, "Yeah, yeah, fine." And she was all kind of like, you know, happy and everything else like that. And she was joining in and things like that, doing things, and she talked.
yeah.
She nearly ate all my sandwiches, by the way, but never mind. But but the trouble is, though, when you're kind of like communicating in person too, it's a big difference, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, it
You know
is.
what
I've always been fairly strict than average person, and I am getting stricter and stricter because to me, I lead quite an exciting life anyway. But for me to give my time to somebody, they got to be worth it. And
I
I'm
mean? Yeah,
talking about my friends, like
yeah,
there are a couple of my friends. I don't care what time they call me. When they need me, I make myself available.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that is a person who's got disabled children, and I'm their godmother, and I will make myself available, and I don't care if it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You know,
Mm, mm, mm,
and but there are friends like I would just drop everything. They don't need
mm,
to say anything. They need to only send me a text. I need you. I'll be there. Obviously, if I'm working and I'm with a
mm,
client, I can't. But
mm,
soon as I'm able, I'll tell them I'm gonna finish now. I'll be there pronto.
mm.
But to me, I, you know, for me to just tolerate the lack of etiquette, if you haven't got manners and if you haven't got communication skills, shagging is not going to happen.
What time's it? Have we gone past the checker yet? But no, no, totally, I think, I, you know, uh, saying about that. I remember meeting somebody. I was 32 years old, and I met somebody in a club was oh god, I don't know, 46. I was
Yeah,
32 years, 46. Anyway, I met her and went back to her house. We were listening to um I don't know, Dolly Parton or Celine Dion or whatever it was,
yeah,
and it just kicked off, bit of a kiss, and things like that. And next minute, she woke up in the morning. She's having a fag. Oh, I feel so guilty. Oh, I feel so guilty. This is what she was like, this woman.
what
I
you,
said, why? Why do you feel guilty? Oh, about sex and all that rubbish. Then next minute, um, next minute, she kind of like, I went to this church. I went into this church. I guess she was there. She was, right?
so what was she feeling guilty about? I don't get it.
But because she goes to church, supposed to be a
Yeah,
Christian, and I'm supposed to be a Christian too, and it's wrong in it in a way. So
what's
uh,
wrong to have sex? What to have
yeah,
sex?
yeah,
Why is it wrong?
because in our belief we believe in marriage.
Oh,
got to be married. You don't be unyoked with unbelievers and whatnot. So anyway, so she was going this, right?
oh
So
dear.
so the vicar comes up to me and said, "Could I have a word for you for a minute?" She said,
Oh dear.
He said, I've spoken to Geraldine, and Geraldine said that you two were having thingy, and she feels guilty about. I said, well, I don't know what she feels guilty for because there's a relationship going on here. You know, it's not like a one night stand.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, so I said, tell you what, Jared. So I was having coffee. I told Geraldine, right, let's just leave it and we go our own way. Next night, I get a phone call, right, about 10 o'clock at night, right, finishing work. Oh, sorry, Steve, I feel guilty. Can you come around? I need to talk to you about something. Oh, all right. So I goes in. I goes in. You had sex, right? The next minute, she gets a pack of cigarettes out and she went, oh, Steve, I only got one. Can you give me a pack of go up the shop and get me a pack of cigarettes?
Oh my God.
So I went up the shop, got her a pack of cigarettes, come back. Goes, I feel guilty. I feel guilty. And I was thinking, you know, then 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 that was it. So I broke up with her. I broke up with her. Then I don't know if you see my book, read my book, but in my book it says it, and I come to a point where I got depressed, and I went into a nursing home, not a nursing home, a little psychiatric unit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
not that bad.
Oh,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah.
So
Oh,
anyway, so I'm in there, see, and I'm there kind of like,
yeah.
queuing up for my cigarette, pass the time away, and all of a sudden I, I could hear this voice, leave me alone, leave me alone, right?
Oh my
And
God.
yeah, 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 right, leave me alone, leave me alone. Not me, and not she doesn't even know I'm here now
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
moment.
yeah. Oh God.
But I'm in the garden. I'm in the garden. So, sorry, people, this is all about communication. Don't worry. I'm in the garden, right? And she comes out in the garden, comes right over to me and said, you made my life like hell.
Oh
She said,
dear.
I feel so guilty like that,
Oh God.
right? Right? And and I was thinking, oh my goodness sake. I said, what are you doing? She said, well, she said, I met these people after you gone, and I've got into a relationship with some people. And, and I felt guilty and all that. I thought, right, okay, I've got to move on now, you know. And, it's crazy, isn't it? People,
I
truth.
I can't even believe what you're saying. It's
No, please believe it. It's true,
No, no, no.
honestly.
I do believe you, but I can't comprehend that somebody would be like this unless they had, a medical issue in their head or something
I
like
think she
that.
did have. I think she did
Yeah.
have. Yeah.
But you say that you say people may have medical issues, but I'm talking about your average person who allegedly have nothing wrong in the brain. You know,
Well, she was a top artist. She
they
was a
yeah
like she was a designer. She was designing clothes. She said to me, she said, I'm a designer. I said, yeah, yeah, all right. She said,
yeah
Google me, and I googled her, and
yeah
it was like I said, oh, good. You can take me up for a meal. Got loads of money, you know.
yeah
And she took me out for a meal and all that, and it was good. But the trouble is, though, it was just that point, and I think what she was doing is I think what it was in the past is it was like she wasn't communicating and telling me what's wrong. I
yeah
think she was having sex with people
yeah
because she was hurt from the past, and
yeah yeah
she get what I'm trying to say.
yeah yeah
And until I found out in the end what was wrong, when she got
yeah
raped and all that by people,
yeah
and it was the communication wasn't.
yeah.
Um,
And your communication starts not, you people may think when the child starts, talking and things. No, communication happens, when you're still like pregnant, and they can feel the environment outside and
Mm.
inside. Anyway, but our time is almost out. So I like to say thank you, Steve, first of all, for accommodating for me for 8 o'clock. And thank you for your contributions. And I like to offer my gratitude to the listeners on Crossroads Podcast UK for this. Sad topic, the lost art of communication. Join me again, hopefully 7 o'clock Friday next week on Talking Life. Steve, do you have anything to say?
Yes, join me around about 9:30 tonight, where communication will go totally wrong. We have got Tommy back, and you know what Tommy is? He's a ventriloquist or whatever, these
Yeah,
puppet things. And I'll be speaking to them later on
yeah.
and seeing what he's up to. So watch out for that. It's all a bit of fun, but please come over because communication will not be. It's all about communication today. I don't know why, but
Everything is everything. Even when
yeah,
you communicate with your plant wrongly, it affects their growth. And there you go. So
communicating that didn't come out well.
communicate.
Communicating with
Okay,
your plant.
if you, it's a known
Oh, oh,
fact.
I know daffodil. Are you all right? No.
You know
Oh,
what?
God.
No, 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 no. This is we all thought Prince Charles was a loopy head for talking to his plants. But if you, when you're watering your plants, you do it gently, gracefully, and tell your plant how beautiful they look, and tell another plant how horrible it is, and all that. The plant that you cared for will grow much bigger. And if I can't
Right.
see, I can't show you right now. I would have to flick the screen, but I've still got Christmas plant from 2 years ago, and I've still got the red leaves, and it's about that big. Like I can't even show it. It's huge because they look
Oh,
beautiful. Honestly, so when I water the plants, I always say, "You're looking gorgeous. Don't die on me."
right. Okay. On that part. So don't forget, people, 9:30 tonight, please join us. And also, don't forget, tomorrow we got more entertainment tomorrow. So from you and from me, we're both bonkers and communication is properly. And if you want to talk to your plant, carry on. Say how beautiful she is and everything else. Yeah. I'm going to talk to
Only
my I'm going to talk to my plant, my wife. Hello.
be
And
nice.
yeah. See you later. Bye
Be
bye.
nice and charming.
Yes. I love you, darling.